The National Rifle Association has come out to say that the real problem isn't guns, but instead violent video games. So we wanted to know, is there really a connection between virtual violence and real-world violence?
And we have to do something about maybe what they're seeing and how they're seeing it, and also video games. I'm hearing more and more people say the level of violence on video games is really shaping young people's thoughts.
So this really isn't the first time that video games are being blamed for violence or inciting violence.
Bernard, what about video games?
Shouldn't we also quit marketing murder as a game?
Black Ops.
And in this debate, some gun advocates blame those games and violent movies for sparking mass shootings by young men.
Here's the question. Do these popular but violent video games really contribute to mass shootings?
But the idea of these video games to dehumanize individuals, to have a game of shooting individuals and others, I've always felt that is a problem for future generations and others.
Video games are a real problem. They're a real problem. You know why? Because they're fun.
Addictive.
And you don't, yeah, well, I have a real problem with them. And you do them and they're real exciting, but you don't get anywhere.
Right.
It's like you could do like...
Video games get a bad rap, but what if video games can change lives too? I believe that people can receive inspiration from all sorts of mediums and situations. Music, movies, TV shows, anime, books, your 8th grade English teacher that everybody thought was a freak but you really vibed with, and then he caught you cheating one day and you thought he hated you forever, but it turns out he just made you write a paper on why cheating is bad and then you guys were still bros. The point is life is such a weird thing, and when you need something specific, it gets delivered to you through some means right when you need it. And video games can do the same thing. I've played many games throughout my life, with a few of them sticking with me that have helped me get through tough times. Even when life is good, I can play through a game and still get some sort of message from it. Not saying that every game I play through has some sort of deep message that the dev is trying to convey to me, but there are plenty out there that have. Whether it's what the devs intended, or if it's just my over-analytical brain that conjured it up out of nothing, the message was still received. In today's video, I wanted to talk about how video games taught me about life. Sometimes you play a game and it's the story that really resonates with you. It can have such an impactful message that leaves you thinking about it weeks on end, processing what you had just experienced. And sometimes devs catch lightning in a bottle and bake the message and lore into the gameplay. I'm talking about Dark Souls. If you're part of the Souls community, then you've probably seen the plethora of videos of people talking about how Dark Souls had saved their lives or helped them get through tough times. Some of you are probably wondering why a game with a bunch of big creepy-ass monsters that kill you over and over and over again can help anybody get through tough times. You look at the gameplay and you think that that is the tough time. You should probably stop playing before you give yourself an aneurysm and break another TV. Well, Dark Souls is kind of like life. It's tough as nails, you're gonna face many obstacles, and you may even get lost along the way. You could encounter what you believe to be the biggest hurdle that you cannot get over and that it's impossible and you're ready to give up. But that would mean going hollow. Throughout the entirety of Dark Souls, almost every NPC you encounter all sing the same song to the player character. Whatever you do, don't go hollow. You then see what happens to NPCs when they go hollow. They've given up and just became another mindless enemy for you to kill, just like every other enemy in the game. Every time in the game when you die, you go hollow, but you can reverse hollow, and the only way to truly go hollow is if you give up. Dark Souls has such a unique take on this, with, like I mentioned earlier, the message and the lore being baked into the gameplay of dying and trying until you finally achieve victory. The more you play and grow in this game, the easier it gets. You become stronger and smarter, you upgrade your weapons and your character. You learn the layouts of levels and the enemy placements. The biggest challenge in Dark Souls is all of the Goliath boss fights that you encounter on your adventure. Literally every boss you encounter is bigger than you, stronger than you, and can kill you in 1 or 2 hits, basically no matter what. It's so frustrating when you fought a boss over and over again. You keep trying, you get it down to just a sliver of health left, and then you make that one mistake and you screw up and then you die. You get teleported right back to the same bonfire where you have to try again. But when you finally overcome that boss fight, the taste of victory is so sweet. You did it. You finally conquered the obstacle in your way. It may have taken many, many tries, and you may have taken breaks in between, but you still did it. Life is that way. We all hit points where we're stuck and we've tried and tried and tried to no avail and we're ready to give up. But this game teaches us otherwise. The longer you live and the more XP you gain through all your different experiences, encounters, jobs, school, relationships, the stronger you get, the smarter you get, the more patient you become, the less angry you are. And you may even learn to love yourself and believe in yourself along the way. Whatever your Dark Souls boss in life may be, you can do it. Just remember, be safe, friend, and don't you dare go hollow. The next game on our list is called The Artful Escape. I feel like at some point in everyone's life, we've experienced or will experience how hard it is to make decisions. I guess what I mean by that is close friends or family, people that have experienced a little more life than us, may tell you at some point along the way that they know what is best for you. But it may not be what you think is best for you. Maybe you were supposed to be a doctor. Everyone expected you to. You went to school for it. You worked at a hospital. But somewhere along the way, you learned that that wasn't for you. The Artful Escape follows a young musician whose uncle left a legacy of folk music, and everyone in the town expected him to also be a folk musician, just like his uncle. But he doesn't like folk music. He liked to play his electric guitar and wanted to rock stadiums. This game takes you on an ethereal journey through the transformation of a person who was afraid to disappoint everyone around him, going from what everyone expected him to be to who he truly wanted to be. Sometimes it takes encounters with aliens, giant spaceship rides, traveling through wormholes, lots of 80s rock, and a mentor to help you break free from your shell and your people-pleasing ways. If we truly only have one life, why not spend it doing what we love? Become the person that you want to be, despite how it makes everyone else feel around you. That is something that I wished I learned when I was younger, is how to make decisions based upon how I feel and not necessarily how other people feel. I'm not saying to be a dick and disregard all advice that people give you, because there is lots of wisdom out there from people that have experienced life before us. Lots of mistakes that we can avoid that will make our lives a lot easier if we do. But that being said, you can't let others live your life for you. It took me a very long time to figure out who I wanted to be and what made me happy in life. And this game teaches you the importance of paving your own path. Those who truly matter won't care what you decide and will support you no matter what path you choose. And those who do care what you do don't matter. People are going to judge you no matter what you do with your life, so you may as well do what you enjoy. The last game I wanted to talk about today is The Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time. This is such a special game for many, myself included. Maybe this was our first time taking control of Link and exploring Hyrule. Maybe this was our first time playing an N64 game, or our first time playing a video game in general. Maybe you played it 20 years after its release and it really connected with you. A quick look on the surface of this game and we find nothing more than a hero who saves the day, the princess, and the world from darkness. A typical hero's tale that we've seen repeated again and again. Still, if we dig deeper, we can find lots of themes in this game. My favorite being growing up. In Ocarina, time travel is a big part of this game. You spend the beginning of the game as a young Kokiri boy who's never really been outside of his village. The world is peaceful. You see life through the eyes of a child. People are dancing, dogs barking, the sun's shining, the sky is blue, flowers and trees and grass, everything's blooming. At a certain point, Link can pull the Master Sword from its pedestal, traveling 7 years into the future, and he loses those 7 years. After the 7 years, he sees that the world is in shambles, that his hometown is overrun by monsters, darkness is filled everywhere, and Princess Zelda is missing. Once visited locations are now frozen, burned, and destroyed. Link now sees life through the eyes of an adult. After Link saves the day, Zelda then sends him back in time again to when he was young, but Navi leaves along with his childhood. He may be young again, but he's still left with the memories and the scars from being the hero of time. And now that Navi is gone, he can't actually go back to his home village, because if you enter the village without a fairy in the Lost Woods, you become a Stalfos. So Link gave up everything to become the hero of time and save the day. I think time for me, it's such a weird concept. There are times where I wanted to go fast, and there are times where I want it to come to a heaping stop so I can enjoy the moments. Maybe you're at work and you hate your job and you can't wait to get home. Maybe you're on the first date with the girl of your dreams and you don't want it to end. Maybe you want to fast forward till you get that promotion at work, or maybe you want to rewind time to spend more of it with your loved ones. As a kid, I felt like time went by a lot slower, and now as an adult, the days go by in the blink of an eye. I don't know if this has ever happened to you or happens to you, but it happens to me all the time, and maybe it's because I had such a good childhood. There will be times where I hear a song, or I smell a certain smell, or I see a picture or a video, and it teleports me back to a specific moment in time when I was a kid. Playing old N64 games with my dad and my sisters, watching my uncle beat Ocarina of Time, playing video games with my grandpa on the couch when he would make YouTube videos with us. I think about all the weekends I spent at my grandma's house playing video games with my cousins, going to Jack in the Box at 3 a.m., Christmases, birthdays, swim lessons, driver's ed, high school sports, trick-or-treating on Halloween, playing night games with the neighborhood. Sometimes I get caught thinking about the past and get really nostalgic and sad because I'm never going to be a carefree kid again. A time when the world was this magical place of wonder and excitement. You didn't have to worry about a job or paying bills or getting married and having kids. You never thought about people getting older, that one day your parents were going to be 50. You just wanted to hang out with your friends, play some video games, and eat pizza. I know Ocarina of Time ends on a sad note, and I'm not saying that you're going to lose 7 years of your life and go through hell, but growing up is inevitable. I don't want to get caught always thinking about the past that I forget about right now. Right now is all that's important. You're never going to get the past back. And if we don't stop and smell the roses and learn to enjoy the moment, time's going to pass you by. And pretty soon you're going to be 50. Cherish the memories that you have. Hang on to them. But don't let those stop you from making new ones.